Good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you are watching this lesson. We're going to continue with Unit 5, Lesson 3 to be specific. Unit 5, Lesson 3 is about writing equations parallel to another point or to another equation through a specific point. Remember, parallel slopes are the same, very similar to our last target, except this time we're looking at parallel instead of perpendicular. Let's look really quick here. Same steps as before. We're going to identify if the new equation is parallel or perpendicular, and today we are just specifically going to focus on parallel. Then you're going to identify the new slope, and in this case, the parallel slope to the original equation. Use y equals mx plus b and substitute the new slope and the point from the problem. You're going to solve for b and you're going to write the parallel equation. So let's look at this really quick. What line is parallel to 2x plus 3y equals 6 at the point 3, 2? Well, we don't have to worry about this right now because I already solved it for us. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. These two equations are the same. This one wasn't solved for y. We solved it right here. And remember, like I said, we're going to make that grocery list. We have an x and a y already. We know x equals 3. Y equals 2. We know we are looking for the slope that is parallel to the original slope. And we are going to have to find the new parallel y-intercept for a specific point. Okay, so step one, we identify, is it parallel or perpendicular? And in our case here, we're always going to be working with parallel today. So that means we need to find our parallel slope. So if I look at my original equation, y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2, our slope is the number in front of the x, so negative 2/3. And if parallel slopes are the same, our parallel slope should also be negative 2/3. Doesn't change. Same slope. Parallel slopes are the same. And if I look at my equation, y equals m times x plus b, I take my grocery list and I put in what I already have so that I can solve for what I do not have. Well, what's our y value? Our y value is 2. Remember, we got that from our original equation, our original problem. Y is 2. Our our parallel slope, is negative 2/3, and our x is 3, and that's plus b. So then we just want to go through and solve. 2 equals negative 2/3 times 3, negative 2/3 times 3/1 is negative 6/3, which can be simplified down to negative 2. So we get negative 2/3 times 3 is negative 2 plus b. Continue to simplify. We have to solve for b. 2 equals negative 2 plus b. We need to get the b by itself, so let's get rid of this negative 2. So we're going to add 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. We have b equals 4. Then we just take all of our information and rewrite our equation. Here we said our parallel slope was negative 2/3. We found that up here. And our y-intercept is 4. And you're done. Negative 2/3 x plus 4. Another problem. What is the equation of a line that is parallel? So I can right away, jump right here, know that it's parallel to the line 3x plus 5y equals 8. And it passes through the point 10, 4. So we know, what do we already have? Well, we know that x is 10, making our grocery list. Y is 4. We need a parallel slope, and we need a y-intercept, a b. Well, if we're looking at our equation here, y equals negative 3 5 x plus 8 over 5. This is the same equation as this one. We just solved it for y for down here. Our original slope is negative 3/5, which means our parallel slope, which is the same, is negative 3/5. The same slope, doesn't change. Then we're going to substitute into our equation with our grocery list. We know that our parallel slope is 3/5. We know an x, we know a y. We don't know what the b value is. So what's our y value over here? We've got 4. Again, I got that from my original problem. Slope is negative 3/5. X is 10, and we don't know b. Simplify. If we have to do our multiplication here, negative 3/5 times 10, negative 3/5 times 10 equals negative 30 over 5, which reduces down to negative 6. So that means negative 3/5 times 10 is negative 6, and then plus b. And then to solve, to get the b by itself, we do the opposite of a minus 6. We add 6, and we get 10 equals b. So b equals 10, which means our new equation, y equals negative 3/5 x plus 10. And you're done. And if you notice, this is the exact same process we're doing from the perpendicular lesson, from our last lesson. We're just changing the slope from a perpendicular slope to a parallel slope. And let's look at our last problem here. We have the equation 3x plus 4y equals 12. And where there's a second line that passes through the point 1, 2. And it is parallel. It's parallel to the given line. What is the equation of that second line? So we know that we're looking for a parallel slope. We know that x is 1. We know that y is 2. We need a parallel slope, and we need to find our new y-intercept. However, we can't do that just yet. We need to solve for y. We need to get y by itself. So how do we do that? Well, we need to get rid of this 3x first. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. Those go away. We have 4y equals, and I'm going to do the commutative property and just flip this around and say negative 3x plus 12. Then my last step is to get rid of this 4. That's 4 times y. So I'm going to divide by 4 everything, not just one thing, everything. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I have y equals, this just stays the same because it can't reduce, negative 3/4 x plus 12 divided by 4 is 3. Well, now we know what the original slope is. The original slope is negative 3/4, which means the parallel slope, which is the same, is also negative 3/4. So now we want to substitute back into our equation. Y equals m times x plus b. Well, what's our y value? Our y value is 2. Again, we got that from our original problem. Our slope, which is the same as the original slope, is negative 3/4. Our x is 1. We got that again from our original problem. And we don't know the value of b. We have to solve for it. So let's simplify. 2 equals negative 3/4 times 1. Well, anything times 1 is just negative, is itself. So we get negative 3/4. So what do we want to do? We want to solve. We want to get it by itself. I want to get the b by itself. So I'm going to add 3/4 over here and add 3/4 over here. Well, before, let's just do 2 and 3/4 first. And that equals, those cancel, b. And I'm going to actually convert this into an improper fraction. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 3, 9, 10, 11. So we're going to have 11/4, which equals b. So I'm going to rewrite my equation. Y equals my parallel slope, negative 3/4 x, plus my b, which we said is 11/4. And you are done. Okay. Again, for this whole concept here, we're not doing anything new, nothing you haven't seen before. We're just putting it in a specific order. Okay. Hopefully, you are doing great with this. If you are still struggling, make sure you reach out, comment on this, send a message on Schoology, send an email, whatever it is you need to do. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.